Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of dismal Disney. We're going to talk about the wrap, and they had an article today talking about how there might be another potential buyer for Disney. They're talking Blackstone, Candle Media might be potentially looking to buy Disney, which would explain why former Disney execs Kevin Mayer and Tom Staggs have returned to oversee that deal, or it could be a bidding war or something. Now, what's interesting about this article, it's not that Blackstone is entering the picture here necessarily. What's interesting is that the wrap is effectively saying Disney is going to get sold. It's just a matter of who is going to buy it.
Basically, yes.
They said it's either going to be Apple or Blackstone, but Disney is absolutely going to get sold pretty soon. So that's like the big bombshell. But most people are like, oh yeah, we knew that was going to happen. That's been a rumor for years.
Yeah, well, obviously when you brought those two back, that's the first thing that came to my mind. So
yeah, so let's talk about this, because there are a couple articles that they put out in the last couple of days just talking about how they're everything is pointing to Disney selling itself off to somebody, whether it's trimming the fat or, his Iger coming back for 2 more years and then being pretty callous toward Hollywood. It just all feels like this is the end of the line.
Yeah.
So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. If you do, you'll get a woohoo.
Woohoo!
Go out to piratesandprincesses.net for more objective Disney news. And also our podcast. We're going to be doing more episodes. We need to do more episodes.
Yes, we need to. We're doing a lot of things.
Of the podcast. So yeah, this was right before the other article they put up, why Disney's future is up in the air. It's up in the air because they're trying to sell off assets, but there doesn't seem to be a long-term plan. And their investor call is what, tomorrow?
Tomorrow's going to get very interesting, because tomorrow's when the investor call is, and that's when we'll find out what the numbers are for Disney Plus. That's the first time the interim CFO is going to be in charge. And we're going to also have, there might be some bombshells like, hey, I went to that retreat where mergers and acquisitions happen, and here's what we're doing. I mean, that all could come out tomorrow. I mean, we hear a lot, February when they had the other meeting?
Yeah.
And then he's just like, hey, by the way, we're cutting a bunch of people after they kind of, thought that they weren't.
I think Iger knows exactly what's up. I think he knows exactly what the plan was. And look, I worked for a company one time that they brought a guy in, and his job was to give the company curbside appeal to sell it. And it was one of these investment companies.
Yeah, but he was a dumbass, so it took a ridiculously long time to sell.
Right. In this case, I personally, as a Disney watcher, do not see any other reason for them to bring Iger back now, and for them to be making the decisions they're making, which don't point to a long-term future. It looks to me like they're trying to trim it down to the assets that a potential buyer would want, and then just foist it off onto somebody else. And then it's somebody else's problem. Now, Iger could stay for a while to ease the transition, but yeah, it sounds like it's going to be somebody else's problem here pretty soon. So let's talk about this article. This is the one that kicked it off. And we did a video before talking about how Tom Staggs and Kevin Mayer, both of them were potential replacements for Bob Iger.
Yes.
They went off to form, Candle Media. And they bought a bunch of stuff, including Coco Melon and Reese Witherspoon's Hello Sunshine, or whatever it was.
Hello Sunshine.
And they are bankrolled by Blackstone. Now, there's a difference between Blackstone and BlackRock, I guess. You got to get that right. As I understand it, BlackRock is the one that a lot of people are worried about their political agenda.
Okay, good.
That is my understanding.
So this is the opposite one.
The
only thing is like Coco Melon. I can't think they're going to be super politically charged, but you never know.
Well, it's a huge platform, right? You got to get.
We're going to use Coco Melon to be politically charged. Okay.
So that is my understanding, and I don't follow the drama with these companies and George Soros and all that jazz. But anyway, they said, this is absolutely looking like a merger and acquisition. There's questions as to why they're back. We're going to take on more urgency. Now.
Oh, I can't wait till tomorrow. I can't wait to see the questions that could get asked. I think we're going to hear asking about this. They're going to probably ask about the Hollywood and the strikes.
Yep.
I mean, I'm interested to see the questions.
It's going to be a shit show.
These are going to be the investors.
Yeah, first time she hasn't been.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they'll ask that, but it's the new CFO, and they're going to let the investors ask, the investing companies. They never let anybody else unless it's the investor, the whole raw meeting. It's like Moffat Nathanson so-and-so wants to ask, and it's always the same people every time.
Yeah, they made the mistake of letting some nuns talk one time.
No, that was the basic one that they do the annual meeting.
Oh,
They
okay.
let anybody ask questions.
Yeah.
So they
Why are you so woke? Why are you so woke?
That's when they got cornered about DeSantis and stuff. But when it's just a regular investor call, it's pretty much just the big investment firms that get to ask questions.
Yeah. And they're going to have questions. They're going to be like, why is Christine McCarthy out the door all of a sudden? Why are Kevin Mayer and Tom Staggs coming back? What's your long-term plan?
It'll be interesting.
What about all the rumors you're going to sell stuff? Now, the official story or the running theory is that they were brought back as consultants to help sell or decide what to do with ESPN.
The linear TV, yeah.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They look to me like they might be the actual Bobs coming in to see what's necessary. Like, this is what we want. This intriguing development followed Iger's recent uncharacteristically frank and gloomy comments that pointed to the notion of Disney shedding some of its assets it built up under his first run as CEO. People are like, yeah, Bob's back. He doesn't seem very happy. They're laying people off, and now he's bringing his two potential successors back. What the hell is going on?
But it makes sense if they're potentially considering buying it out.
Yeah.
And it's funny to me though, because like a lot of the problems that are being quote unquote fixed now by Bob were created by Bob.
Yes.
So, you know.
Yeah. And this was probably the end game all along. Like I said, we had a guy come into one of our companies. His job was to get the company prepped, curbside appeal, build it up, build the sales up, rebrand it, you know, and he basically had certain companies he was looking at that he wanted to sell our company to. And then it all went poof because the guy was a dumbass.
The problem is Disney's got themselves too big. It lost sight of what it was. It was Disney. It was known for like the Disney Channel and entertainment and theme parks. And then it decided it wanted to be a streaming service, and it wanted to be Marvel, and it wanted to be, you know, all these different things. And that's great, except it was just too big, and it's tumbling over like a bunch of blocks.
Like a bunch of blocks. They said Apple is still the most obvious potential buyer for a slimmed down Disney.
Slim down Disney.
Slim down
Unless
Disney.
one of them wants one half and one of them wants the other.
That's true. They might, piecemeal stuff off. Who knows? Mayer and Stagg's reentry into the Magic Kingdom could make Disney the happiest place on earth again for them as well as shareholders. They pointed out that Disney's stock is down 50% from its highs a couple of years back and has continued mostly on a downward trajectory after Iger's return gave it an early buzz. Everybody's
Go ahead. Do your thing you always do about when you said that it was going to not stay there and people were like, it's the best ever. You always do it every time.
I told you so. I told you so. I told you so.
Yeah, you did. He said, it's going to drop. No, it's not. It's the best it's ever been. And then it's half.
We said years ago that, look, Disney was headed for an iceberg, and everybody's like, oh, no, you're just a bunch of, you used to be seamstresses working for Disney, and you're just really grumpy, and you probably swept floors
you're
there.
You're mad because they fired you.
No, my sweet summer child, that is not what happened. But yeah, this looks to me like they're going to sell the whole damn thing off. And this is not the first time that Disney's been close to being sold. They were going to sell it off in the 80s, or late 70s, early 80s, and Eisner saved it. Basically, he saved it. God, I wish we still had Eisner. But yeah, down 50%. Disney's other cable networks are down 6% and 29% to $3 billion respectively. Mickey sees troubling financial transformational headwinds everywhere amidst increasingly tech-driven media's new world order. So it seems that it's odd for, and we said this too, it's odd for Mayer and Staggs to be retaining in a consulting capacity.
Right. They were consulting for Warner Brothers and stuff too, so they've been going out there doing it for other people as well.
It's not like they don't have other things to do. Well, okay, so here would be a coup. What if, hypothetically speaking, Candle Media / Blackstone, whoever, said, you know what? Let's buy both. Let's buy Disney and Warner Brothers. And then we have the Warner Disney Company.
Oh, they're not going to get that through.
And Bugs and Mickey are hanging out together, and
it's going to be like Roger Rabbit all over again. No, they're not going to be allowed to do that. I do not think that that's going to get past, the regulators.
No, they'd be like, hell no. But yeah, Reese Witherspoon's Hello Sunshine, for some reason, it's just a blog and a movie production company. She sold for $900 million. Mm-hmm. Right before all these blogs collapsed.
Right. I never thought it was worth that. I always thought
smart.
That was like...
Yeah, but
she's also rich before, so it was easy to build something up when you already had the connections and the money.
I'm like, she's Elle and Elle Woods in real life. She was smart. Moonbug Entertainment, that's Cocomelon, $3 billion. That was a husband-wife team just doing goofy-ass kids' cartoons.
And they got
YouTube.
more money than Reese Witherspoon. So
They got more money. Cocomelon's huge. It's huge. Look closer and follow the money. Candle Media is backed by Blackstone,
Correct.
the massive private equity fund that manages $1 trillion in its M&A offers. You heard me right. That's trillion with a capital T.
that's a lot of cheese if you're going to catch a mouse. That's funny.
That's a lot of cheese if you're going to catch a mouse. You can see the picture emerging here. Mayer ran Disney's strategic planning group for years.
Yes.
And engineered all of its massive game-changing acquisitions.
And then Mayer also was a big key component in Disney Plus.
Yeah, he was. So he helped Iger buy Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm.
And what's interesting though, and then Stags did a lot of theme park stuff. But what's interesting though, also I want to point out, was they retained them separately, not as Candle Media, but each separately to be consultants. Like they didn't do it together as bringing the media company in, and they each have their own areas of expertise. And one's more a theme park person, and one's more of the other stuff. And if they were going to split it up because Apple didn't want the theme parks, but Apple wanted the other stuff, it would make sense that one person would maybe be the person to talk to you about that, and one person might be the person to talk about theme parks. Not saying that's what they're going to do, but they made a big point of saying that they were contracted independently. They kept saying that over and over again.
Yeah. So and it could be that one of them is in to negotiate the financials with the plan to eventually put the other one in as CEO when the acquisition.
I don't know. Could be.
place.
I mean, I'm just thought that was interesting that they work together. They have Candle Media. They're bringing Candle Media into it, but they were both contracted individually, which I thought was interesting.
So yeah, it's looking like they could be into, just pick up the pieces that Apple doesn't want. It could be both of these companies could be involved. Whatever the reason is for these guys being here, it's not good from a standpoint of like Disney staying as is. Disney is not going to stay as is.
No.
So, regardless of what happens, who buys what. But the fact that you've got the rap out there saying definitively that Disney all or in pieces is going to get sold says something. Because I don't think they would come out and be like, yeah, Disney's totally getting sold. It's totally getting sold. Just who's going to buy it? And how are they going to buy it? And what parts are they going to buy? And, what does that mean for Disney fans? I don't know. Are there Disney fans left? It seems like most people are pissed off. And
I think there's fans left, and there's people that want it to go back to being Disney. But there are a lot of people that are turning from Disney. A lot of people just want to watch it collapse. So there's that too, which I don't want to see it collapse. No. I want to see it be saved. I don't necessarily think the people that are there now are the people that should be there. But I like to see them go back to being what they were.
Yeah.
And be the best Disney they can be instead of trying to be the best, Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, Disney Plus, et cetera, that they're trying to be. ESPN that they're trying to be.
Entertainment conglomerate. Like just be Disney. Just like Facebook. Just be Facebook. Be good at being Facebook and don't try to do all this other stuff because it detracts from you being the best Facebook you can be. So we'll see what happens. Tomorrow's going to be really interesting. We're going to obviously be doing a video on that, I'm sure. We're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.